Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something today that may surprise you. Stop being kind to everyone. Now, before you close your heart to these words, hear me out. I'm not telling you to be cold, bitter, or harsh. No, that's not the way. But I am telling you that kindness without truth is not kindness at all. We live in a world where being nice has become more important than being honest. People are afraid to speak up, afraid to offend, afraid to stand for what is right because they don't want to be labeled as unkind. But let me remind you, true kindness does not mean pleasing everyone. True kindness means caring enough to tell the truth, even when it's hard. True kindness is not about making people feel good temporarily. It is about caring for their well-being, even when the truth is hard to hear. Too often, people confuse kindness with simply being agreeable, polite, or avoiding conflict. But kindness without truth is not kindness at all. It is cruelty wrapped in comfort. When we fail to tell the truth, we may save someone from discomfort in the moment, but we risk their greater harm in the long run. Imagine a doctor examining a patient and discovering a life-threatening illness. If the doctor decides not to share the diagnosis because it might upset the patient, is that kindness? Of course not. It is cruelty, even if it feels gentle. True care requires honesty because only the truth can lead to healing and change. In the same way, when we see someone heading down a destructive path, whether through harmful choices, wrong beliefs, or dangerous behavior, remaining silent to avoid hurting their feelings is not compassion. It is indifference. The world today often teaches that to be kind, we must accept everything and question nothing. We are told that love means never offending and that truth is too sharp to be spoken aloud. But real kindness is not about making peace with lies. It is about caring enough to confront falsehood with love. People deserve honesty, not flattery, clarity, not confusion. When we replace truth with shallow niceness, we are not protecting feelings, we are permitting harm. Telling the truth can feel uncomfortable, and it may cost us relationships or approval. Yet the highest form of love is one that prioritizes someone's long-term good over their short-term comfort. Parents understand this well. A loving parent does not let their child play in the street simply because the child enjoys it. They correct, warn, and sometimes discipline, not to hurt the child, but to protect them. Their correction may cause tears or frustration, but it stems from deep love. Similarly, in friendships, kindness sometimes means having the hard conversation, the one that may hurt a little but helps a lot. Some people avoid telling the truth because they fear conflict or rejection. But silence in the face of harm is not love, it is selfishness. It values personal comfort over another's good. Others soften the truth so much that it becomes meaningless, hoping to avoid offense. But diluted truth saves no one. It is better to speak a hard truth with a soft heart than to speak soft words with a hard heart. True kindness walks hand in hand with honesty, but it also walks with gentleness. Speaking the truth does not mean being harsh, rude, or condemning. It means caring enough to say, I see where this path leads, and I don't want you to get hurt. Truth without love is cruelty, but love without truth is deception. The two must never be separated. The courage to tell the truth is rare, but it is a mark of real love. People may not always thank you for it immediately. They may become angry or distance themselves. But the seeds of truth often bear fruit later, long after the words are spoken. Many who were once offended by correction later become grateful for it because it saved them from deeper pain. In every relationship, whether as a friend, parent, teacher, or mentor, kindness must go beyond surface-level politeness. It must dare to tell the truth even when it is hard. True kindness looks to the future and asks, what is best for this person's life, not just their feelings? It offers correction with compassion honesty with humility, and truth with tenderness. It understands that sometimes the most loving thing we can do is say the words someone doesn't want to hear but desperately needs. Truth has the power to bring light where there is darkness, clarity where there is confusion, and healing where there is brokenness. Yet too often people choose silence when they should speak. They hold back the truth to avoid discomfort, conflict, or rejection. But what many fail to realize is that silence in the face of danger or wrongdoing is not kindness, it is neglect. When we withhold the truth, we do not spare people from pain. We leave them vulnerable to greater harm. Truth may be difficult to hear, but it has the power to save, while silence allows destruction to take root. Imagine a person standing on a bridge that is about to collapse. You know the danger, but you say nothing because you don't want to alarm them. In your silence, you may feel polite, even considerate, but in reality, your silence becomes their doom. The same is true in life's moral, emotional, and spiritual matters. When you see someone walking into a destructive pattern, whether through harmful choices, toxic relationships, or self-deception, your silence does not protect them, it endangers them. Truth is not always easy to share, but it is a gift that can prevent ruin and guide others to safety. Silence often masks itself as peace, but it is a false peace. There can be no real peace where truth is absent. Silence allows lies to grow unchecked and wrongs to continue unchallenged. It gives permission for confusion to reign and for harm to multiply. Think of a family where no one speaks about an addiction that is tearing their home apart. The silence may avoid arguments in the moment, but it also enables the addiction to tighten its grip. It is the hard truth, the intervention, the confrontation, the plea that breaks the chains of destruction. Many people remain silent because they fear confrontation or rejection. They worry about damaging relationships or hurting feelings. But true care does not avoid discomfort. It embraces it for the sake of another's good. When a friend is making choices that will destroy their life, silence is not love. A real friend speaks up, not to condemn, but to protect. Truth can hurt, but it also heals. A wound from a friend's honesty is better than a kiss from an enemy's flattery. People may not thank you immediately for telling them the truth, but one day they may realize that your words saved them from a deeper sorrow. Truth also has the power to break through deception. Many people live trapped in lies they have been told or lies they tell themselves. They believe they are worthless, hopeless, or beyond help. But one voice of truth can shatter those lies. A simple, honest word. You are loved, you are valuable, or there is a way forward, can lift someone from despair. Silence, on the other hand, leaves them in darkness with no light to guide their way. Speaking the truth requires wisdom. It is not about harshness or superiority, but about love and compassion. Truth should be delivered with gentleness, not as a weapon, but as a lifeline. It is possible to be truthful and kind, firm and compassionate, honest and humble. Truth spoken in anger can wound, but truth spoken in love can save. The difference lies in the motive. Are you speaking to tear down or to build up, to shame or to restore? True love always seeks to restore, and truth is its greatest tool. There are also times when staying silent is a betrayal of justice. In the face of wrongdoing, silence protects the wrongdoer and punishes the victim. History shows that evil thrives when good people say nothing. Injustice, oppression, and cruelty survive on the silence of those who know better but fail to speak up. When truth is suppressed, darkness prevails. But when truth is declared, it becomes a force that can change societies, expose corruption, and bring freedom to the oppressed. Truth has the power to transform not only individuals, but entire communities. When people live in a culture where lies are accepted and silence is expected, trust is destroyed, and confusion reigns. But when truth is upheld, even when it is difficult, it brings clarity, accountability, and hope. Love is often misunderstood in today's world. Many believe that to love someone is to accept everything they do without question or correction. But true love goes far deeper than mere acceptance. Love cares enough to confront when necessary because it values a person's well-being over their comfort. It does not stand by silently while someone walks into harm. Real love has the courage to say, "This is not right for you," even when it risks upsetting the other person. Confrontation is not the opposite of love. It is an expression of it. A parent who loves their child does not ignore harmful behavior. They set boundaries, give correction, and sometimes say no because they care about the child's future. That correction may bring tears or frustration, but it is driven by love, not cruelty. In the same way, when we love someone, we do not condone actions that are harmful to their body, mind, or soul. We confront, not to condemn, but to protect and guide. Love that confronts is willing to be misunderstood. It is often easier to remain silent, to avoid difficult conversations, and to let people continue in their ways without interference. But silence in the face of wrongdoing is not love, it is indifference. Indifference says, "Do whatever you want, it's not my concern." Love says, "I care about you too much to let you hurt yourself." Confrontation can be uncomfortable, but it is a sign that you value the person deeply. Some people believe that confronting others is judgmental or harsh, but the truth is that avoiding confrontation can be more harmful. Ignoring destructive behavior does not make it disappear. It allows it to grow. When a friend is making poor choices, whether falling into addiction, destructive relationships, or harmful habits, staying silent may feel kind, but it actually enables their downfall. Love means stepping into the discomfort to help them see the danger ahead. Confrontation done in love is not about superiority or control. It is about restoration. It seeks to build up, not tear down. The heart behind confrontation should always be compassion. The words may be firm, but they should also be filled with grace. When you confront someone, your goal should be their good, their growth, and their healing. It is not about proving a point, but about opening their eyes to a better path. There is also a difference between condoning and showing mercy. Mercy says, "I forgive you," but it does not say your actions were right. Mercy can coexist with accountability. Love can extend grace while still holding someone responsible for their choices. In fact, confronting someone's wrong actions and helping them face the consequences can be one of the most loving things you can do. The fear of confrontation often stems from the possibility of losing relationships. It's true that honesty can strain relationships, but silence can destroy them. A friendship built on avoidance and unspoken resentment will eventually crumble, but a relationship built on truth, even hard truth, has the chance to grow stronger. People may become defensive or angry when you confront them, but over time, they may come to respect your courage and value your care. Love that confronts is also willing to walk through the aftermath. It doesn't just speak the truth and walk away. It stays through the process of change. Confrontation should come with a willingness to support, to listen, and to help the person move forward. It's easy to point out a problem. It's harder to help someone solve it. True love does both. The most powerful confrontations are often those delivered with humility. When you confront someone, acknowledge your own imperfections. Speak from a place of care, not criticism. Use words that heal, not words that wound. Say, "I care about you too much to stay silent," rather than, "You are wrong and I am right." The tone of confrontation matters as much as the truth behind it. The world needs more love that is bold enough to confront. It needs people willing to stand in the gap for others, even when it is difficult. Confronting someone you care about is not a sign of rejection. It is a sign of deep investment in their life. It is a love that chooses discomfort over indifference and truth over false peace. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to act despite fear. It is easy to live a life built around comfort, where we avoid difficult conversations, challenging decisions, and uncomfortable truths. But growth, change, and impact are only possible when we choose courage over comfort. Courage means stepping into the unknown, confronting what is difficult, and standing firm when it would be easier to stay silent or walk away. Comfort seeks safety, ease, and approval. It avoids conflict and resists change. But comfort never leads to greatness. Comfort whispers, "Stay where you are, don't risk anything." But courage says, "Step forward even if it costs you." Courage is what allows us to do what is right, not what is easy. It is what pushes us to speak the truth even when our voice trembles, and to stand up for what is right even if we stand alone. Courage is essential because life is filled with challenges that test our character. There will be times when we must choose between doing what is popular and doing what is right. Comfort seeks approval and applause, but courage seeks truth and integrity. Courage knows that sometimes the right choice is the hardest one. It means confronting injustice, even when it makes you unpopular. It means holding firm to your values, even when they are mocked or misunderstood. Courage often demands that we face our greatest fears. It asks us to step into difficult conversations, admit when we are wrong, or confront someone we love. It is easier to avoid these moments, to stay silent, to walk away, or to pretend everything is fine. But growth is on the other side of discomfort. Relationships deepen when we address the hard things. Change happens when we are willing to have difficult conversations. Healing begins when we face our pain rather than hide from it. Courage over comfort is about making decisions that align with our values, even when those decisions come at a cost. It means standing up for the truth when it would be easier to stay quiet. It means choosing honesty over people-pleasing, integrity over compromise, and conviction over convenience. Courage requires us to be uncomfortable, vulnerable, and sometimes even lonely. But it is in those moments of discomfort that our character is forged. The pursuit of comfort often leads to regret. Many people look back on their lives, not regretting the risks they took, but the opportunities they avoided because they were afraid. They regret the times they stayed silent when they should have spoken up. They regret the times they avoided confrontation and allowed problems to grow. They regret the times they let fear of failure stop them from chasing their dreams. Courage helps us live without those regrets because it pushes us to act even when we are afraid. Courage also means being willing to fail. Comfort is safe because it protects us from failure. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every great accomplishment is built on a foundation of setbacks, risks, and lessons learned from failure. Courage means trying again after falling, believing again after disappointment, and hoping again after heartbreak. It means daring to pursue dreams that others call impossible. Courage over comfort is necessary not only for personal growth, but also for making a difference in the world. Change has never come from those who stayed comfortable. History is shaped by those who had the courage to challenge injustice, to speak up for the voiceless, and to push against what was accepted but wrong. Courage says, "This is not the way things should be," and then works to change it. Courage also means embracing vulnerability. It takes courage to share your story, to admit your struggles, and to ask for help. Comfort hides behind masks, but courage allows you to be seen as you truly are. Vulnerability builds genuine connections because it is through openness that people find common ground and healing. Choosing courage over comfort is a daily decision. It is not just about grand, heroic moments, but about the small choices we make every day. The decision to speak up in a meeting, to apologize first, to set a boundary, or to pursue a dream despite uncertainty. Over time, these small acts of courage shape who we become and how we impact the world around us. Though courage may be uncomfortable, it leads to a life of purpose, growth, and meaning. Comfort may feel safe, but it keeps us small. Courage expands our lives, our relationships, and our impact. It calls us to live fully, love deeply, and act boldly. And while courage may cost us something in the moment, it ultimately leads to a life without regret. 3. False kindness is one of the greatest deceptions in relationships and society. It often looks like politeness, agreement, or tolerance, but beneath its surface is a dangerous lie. False kindness happens when we prioritize being liked over being honest, when we value approval more than truth, and when we avoid confrontation under the disguise of compassion. It may feel gentle and peaceful in the moment, but it leads to confusion, harm, and broken trust. True kindness, on the other hand, does not shy away from honesty. It is rooted in care and courage, even when it is uncomfortable. False kindness often comes from a desire to keep the peace. It avoids conflict at all costs, even when that cost is integrity. People may stay silent in the face of wrong behavior, thinking they are being kind. They may tell half-truths or flatter others to avoid hurting their feelings. But this is not kindness, it is cowardice. Silence in the face of wrongdoing is not mercy, it is permission. Agreeing with someone just to spare their feelings when you know they are heading down the wrong path is not compassion, it is negligence. True kindness speaks up because it cares about the person's well-being, not just their comfort. In friendships and relationships, false kindness can destroy trust. People often say what they think the other person wants to hear rather than what they truly feel. They avoid hard conversations, hoping to preserve the relationship. But relationships built on false kindness are fragile because they lack honesty. Over time, unspoken frustrations and hidden truths create distance. True kindness means being willing to have hard conversations. It means saying, I care about you too much to let this go unspoken, even if it is uncomfortable. False kindness is also dangerous in leadership and authority. When leaders prioritize popularity over truth, they deceive those they are meant to guide. They say what people want to hear, not what they need to hear. They avoid necessary corrections to maintain favor. But true leadership requires courage. It requires making decisions that may be unpopular, but are right. It means giving honest feedback that helps people grow rather than false praise that keeps them stagnant. True kindness in leadership involves both encouragement and correction because both are needed for growth. In society, false kindness is often disguised as tolerance. It tells people that love means accepting everything and questioning nothing. It says that to disagree with someone is to hate them. But true kindness does not mean affirming everything a person believes or does. True kindness respects people enough to be honest with them. It values truth over approval. Tolerance without truth is indifference. Real love confronts falsehood because it cares about what is good and right. False kindness can also be a mask for selfishness. Sometimes people avoid honesty because they do not want to deal with the discomfort of conflict. They say, I didn't want to hurt their feelings, but often the truth is, I didn't want to feel uncomfortable. They choose peace at any price, even when the cost is someone else's well-being. True kindness is selfless. It is willing to risk being misunderstood, disliked, or rejected for the sake of another person's good. True kindness also requires discernment. It knows when to be gentle and when to be firm. It knows that comforting words are not always helpful and that hard truths are sometimes necessary. It recognizes that real healing often begins with honesty. Telling someone only what they want to hear may keep them comfortable, but it won't help them grow. Telling someone what they need to hear with compassion and grace may be painful at first, but it brings lasting good. False kindness often leaves wounds unhealed and problems unsolved. It avoids confrontation but allows damage to continue beneath the surface. True kindness seeks resolution, restoration, and reconciliation. It says, let's face this together even if it's hard, rather than let's pretend everything is fine. True kindness brings light to what is hidden, clarity to what is confused, and peace to what is broken. The world needs more people who reject false kindness and embrace the courage of true care. It needs people willing to speak the truth in love. People who choose honesty over flattery, accountability over avoidance, and integrity over approval. True kindness may feel harder in the moment, but it builds stronger relationships, healthier communities, and deeper trust. And though it may come with a cost of discomfort, it always leads to the reward of real connection and lasting growth. Strong kindness is not soft or weak. It is powerful, courageous, and transformative. It is the kind of kindness that stands firm in truth, offers grace without compromise, and brings clarity where there is confusion. This kindness is not about pleasing people or avoiding conflict. It is about guiding others toward what is good, even when the path is difficult. It is a light that shines through darkness, offering hope, direction, and healing. True kindness requires strength because it often goes against what is easy or comfortable. It means speaking the truth when silence would be simpler. It means confronting wrong behavior with love rather than looking away. It is easier to flatter than to correct, easier to avoid than to engage, and easier to say what someone wants to hear than what they need to hear. But strong kindness chooses honesty over comfort. It risks discomfort to bring clarity, knowing that truth spoken with love can change a life. This kind of kindness brings light because it is rooted in love and guided by wisdom. It understands that care without truth is hollow and that truth without care is harsh. Strong kindness finds the balance. It comforts the hurting and challenges the harmful. It listens with empathy but speaks with conviction. It reaches out to lift the fallen but also sets boundaries to prevent harm. In doing so, it becomes a source of healing and growth, shining light on what is right and good. Strong kindness is also consistent. It is not swayed by moods, opinions, or popularity. It remains steady, showing up when it is needed most, whether in moments of joy or in times of crisis. When a friend is struggling, strong kindness offers more than shallow sympathy. It offers support, truth, and presence. When someone is headed toward harm, it offers a warning, even if it is hard to hear. This consistency builds trust, for people know that strong kindness will not flatter them with lies or abandon them in hardship. This kind of kindness has the power to transform relationships. It replaces pretense with honesty and resentment with resolution. When conflicts arise, strong kindness confronts them, not to tear down, but to reconcile. It says, I care about you too much to ignore this issue, and it stays to work through the tension. As a result, relationships grow stronger, rooted in the solid ground of truth and mutual respect. Strong kindness also brings light to communities and cultures. When people practice this kind of care, they create spaces where honesty and compassion coexist. Gossip fades, replaced by direct, constructive conversation. Division gives way to understanding, because people listen with empathy but speak with integrity. Communities shaped by strong kindness become places where people are valued enough to hear the truth and loved enough to be treated with grace. It takes courage to practice strong kindness because it often comes with a cost. People may misunderstand your motives, mistake your honesty for harshness, or reject your attempts to help. Yet true kindness persists because it is not driven by the need for approval, but by the desire for good. It understands that short-term discomfort can lead to long-term healing, and that temporary offense can lead to lasting growth. Strong kindness plants seeds of light, trusting that in time they will bear fruit. This kind of kindness is also powerful in leadership. Strong leaders do not shy away from hard conversations or unpopular decisions. They offer honest feedback, set clear expectations, and address issues directly, all while valuing the people they lead. They inspire trust because they are both truthful and fair, firm and compassionate. Their kindness shines as a guiding light, helping others reach their potential without losing their dignity. Strong kindness also brings light within ourselves. When we choose to be kind in difficult situations, when we respond to anger with patience, to hurt with grace, and to wrong with truth, we strengthen our character. We become more courageous, more compassionate, and more consistent. And as we practice this kind of kindness, we find that it not only brings light to others, but also illuminates our own path, helping us grow into the best versions of ourselves. The greatest power of strong kindness is that it leads people out of darkness. It reaches those who are lost in confusion, bitterness, or pain, and offers them a way forward. It speaks truth to those trapped in lies, offers hope to those in despair, and brings clarity where there is uncertainty. Strong kindness does not just feel good, it does good. It does not just soothe, it saves. And in every act of strong kindness, a light is lit that can guide others toward healing, restoration, and truth.